Hey everyone, it's Andrew. I'm feeling awesome right now. I just finished a 30-minute jump rope workout. I jumped rope for 30 minutes straight without making any mistakes.
The most powerful motivational speeches that I have ever heard came from people who told me I couldn't do something. You know why? Because when they told me I couldn't do it, I was bound and determined to show them that I could. Tell me I can't do it. I will prove you wrong. I will show you that you're mistaken.
Don't just aspire to make a living. Aspire to make a difference. Anything you want good, you can have. So claim it. Work hard to get it. When you get it, reach back. Pull someone else up. Each one, teach one. Just because you're doing a lot more doesn't mean you're getting a lot more done. Don't confuse movement with progress.
You don't start because of what you don't have. You don't start because you don't realize yet that the fruit of everything good in life begins with challenge. There's nothing easy in life, worthwhile in life. Everything is uphill this worthwhile. And it's not going to come to you, and it's not going to fall in your lap, and it's not going to be something that, oh my gosh, it just was so simple. It's always going to be difficult.
The only way you're ever going to get to the other side of this journey is you have got to suffer to grow. To grow, you must suffer. Most of this generation quits the second they get talked to. You did this wrong, or they get yelled at. It's so easy to be great nowadays because everybody else is, most people are weak. This is a softened generation. So if you have any mental toughness, any ability, you have any fraction of self-discipline, the ability to not want to do it but still do it. People have a hard thing to understand. I hate to run. And what makes me so crazy, it doesn't anymore, is people go, well, why do you run if you hate it? What are you talking about? I don't want to take showers and eat either. I hate that too. That's life, man. It wasn't until I changed that mentality that I became somebody.
What do you do on the days when you're just not feeling?
Those days when I'm tired or worn out or just basically sick of the grind. What do I do on those days? I go anyways. I get it done, even if I'm just going through the motions. I go through the motions. I don't really want to work out. I work out. I really don't want to hammer on a project. I hammer on the project. Don't really want to get up and get out of bed. Yeah, I get up and get out of bed.
But if you can get through to doing things that you hate to do, on the other side is greatness.
So have dreams, but have goals. life goals, yearly goals, monthly goals, daily goals. And understand that to achieve these goals, you must apply discipline and consistency. In order to achieve your goals, you must apply discipline and consistency every day, not just on Tuesday and miss a few days. You have to work at it every day. You have to plan every day. You've heard the saying, we don't plan to fail, we fail to plan. Hard work works. Working really hard is what successful people do.
Do not listen to that little voice. Instead, go through the motions. Lift the weights, sprint the hill, work on the project, get out of bed. Now, as an overall rule, I do not like procrastination. You need to get things done.
Growth is the only guarantee that tomorrow is going to get better. The first question is very simple. What are you doing to develop yourself? "99% of people today are assuming, just assuming, that somehow they'll get better. Very sad, folks, very sad. Because let me tell you something about assumption. Assumption is a huge disappointment in life. You show me a person that assumes, and I'll show you a person that almost daily is disappointed.
For me to fix this, I gotta read what the hell is wrong with David Goggins. Not blame anybody. Read my book and say, okay, I'm afraid of my shadow. How can I overcome that? Go in the military, get your ass kicked, do things you hate to do. Be uncomfortable every day of your life. Roger that. I'm not the smartest kid in the world. Okay. Instead of somebody saying, oh no, you're smart. No, don't say that to yourself. I said to myself, no, I'm a dumb motherfucker. Okay, roger that. How do you get smarter? Educate yourself. So the things that we run from the truth. We're running from the truth, man. So the only way I became successful was going towards the truth. As painful and as brutal as it is, it changed me. It allowed me to become, in my own right, who I am today. Tighten up, people. It's okay. Trust me. It's okay. You might be called nigger one day. It's okay. You might be called some Jewish word or some faggot or gay word. It's okay. Let them call you that. What are you going to do now? They don't own your life. How are you going to control that now? How are you going to flip it upside down and say, roger that, now I'm going to harness this shit, and you'll read about me years from now? How? That's the question. How are you going to do that? Thicken your skin. Become more of a human being. Don't be afraid of the reflection in the mirror, because that's all you can be afraid of. Once you overcome the reflection in the mirror, you've done it.
Here's the hard truth. People don't necessarily want you to succeed. And the bigger your dream, the more people that are going to come out of the woodwork to try to stop you. As Oliver Emberton said, the only way to avoid pissing people off is to do nothing important. But if you're striving for something important, if you're trying to make real change, if there's something in your life that you are absolutely hell-bent to make happen, you have got to understand that you're going to be fighting against something. People are going to be pushing back against you, and it is going to be your ability to hold true to that vision that's going to determine whether you can pull it off. And as Victor Hugo said, you have enemies? Good. It means you stood up for something at some point in your life. And that's what people miss. They somehow want to get through this unscathed. They somehow hope that with this grand change that they want to make, that people just fall in love, that they see your vision, that they fall in line behind you, and that they want you to lead them. That's not the way that people work. having a vision already puts you in an incredibly rare group of people. Being able to see something that other people can't see, that is the role of a visionary, is literally to interpret the world that other people don't even know exists and bring it into fruition and get people excited about it, get them to fall in line. But understand, when you build an army, you will have an opposing force. But as Mark Twain said, keep away from those who try to belittle your ambitions. Small people always do that. But the really great ones, they make you believe that you too can become great. And that's the kind of person that you want to surround yourself with. You want to surround yourself with people that believe in you. You want to surround yourself with people that even when they can't see it, they can see you. Even when they don't understand what you're trying to build, they believe in you and they're willing to get in line and they're willing to meet that opposing force. And when you're able to galvanize people around your idea and push it forward and paint for them the world not as it is, but as it could be, that's when you can make change. But you can't be afraid to piss people off. You have to know that they're coming for you, and you have to be willing to fight. Because if you're not willing to fight, you might as well sit down now. So if you're gonna be one of the few that stands up, you've got to stand up prepared for war.
The average human being uses 5% of their brain capacity. High achievers use 20% of their brain capacity.
Let's imagine for a few moments what our life would be like if we could access, let's say, 20%.
The handles
brain's capacity.
are getting quite slippery now because of sweat,
100 billion neurons,
especially my left hand.
human, of which only 15% are activated. There are more connections in the human body than there are stars in the galaxy. We possess a gigantic network of information.
Your brain has billions and billions of neurons, hundreds of billions of interconnections. It can process more than 2 million bits of information in 1 second. It doesn't forget anything you've ever seen or anything you've ever heard, which is why it's important to make sure you don't put the wrong things in there, because they always will impact upon you, subconsciously and consciously.
Well, the first thing is that everybody, and everybody has the potential for genius. The human brain is far more powerful than a computer.
What is your brain capable of if you actually put your mind to something?
It took 500 years for someone to notice something hidden in plain sight. The doctor noticed the shape of the human brain. Message being that divine gift does not come from a higher power, from our own minds.
You would be amazed at what the average brain is capable of. Now, some people say, well, you know, I'm not good at languages, I'm not good at math, you know, I'm not good at science. You know what? That's a bunch of hogwash. That's not true. If you have an average brain, you're good at anything. It's just a matter of programming the brain correctly. You know, most people think it's pretty easy to read. Why? Because they know all 26 letters of the alphabet. What if you only knew 21 letters of the alphabet? What could you read? Not very much. Well, math and science are exactly the same way. If you're missing elements, it all becomes very confusing. But if you go back and you fill them in, it becomes very easy. And just about everything is easy if you're willing to put the work into it. Everybody can remember things that they want to remember, and things that they don't want to remember, they can't remember. Have you noticed that? And anybody can always find time for something that they want to do. But if they don't want to do it, they can find 5,000 reasons why they shouldn't do it. And that's the way it is when it comes to preparing yourself, particularly in an area like medicine, technological areas. You just have to be willing to do it. It's not going to come automatically. It doesn't come by osmosis. You have to actually work for it to make it work.
The average human being uses 5% of their brain capacity. High achievers use 20% of their brain capacity. Olympic gold medalists use 40% of their brain capacity. Because mastery is the highest form of intelligence. So imagine this. Imagine you winning the silver medal or the bronze medal. Those people who win those medals are using 20% of their brain capacity. That's a lot. They're accessing a lot. But the person standing on top of the podium, on top of the box, with the gold medal around their neck, is using 20% more than they're using of their brain capacity.
A new type of thinking is essential if mankind is to survive and move toward higher levels. Albert Einstein said that more than 50 years ago. And it couldn't be more relevant than it is today.
There's a theory that there's a little Rain Man in everyone. And if there's a way of unlocking that part of the brain, that we could all, to some extent at least, have an experience of what it's like to be me, or to be someone like Stephen Wiltshire.
Second step is a very simple one. It's you decide that you're going to make your brain your hobby. Now, as soon as you do that, your brain is like a young child. So if you suddenly focus on a young child, what happens? It flourishes. Same with the brain. So the minute you make it your hobby, the minute you scan the web, the minute you go into libraries, the minute you attend courses, the minute you read books on it, your brain will reward you in ways which even you now couldn't even believe would be so.
There's a part of your brain called the reticular activating system. For short, we call it the RAS. That part of your brain determines what you notice in the world. And it's really important because when you set a goal, when you get really clear on a vision, there's strong enough reasons, and you review it enough, and it becomes a part of you. That part of your brain says, anything that relates to this, I need to notice.
Perception of reality has less to do with what's happening out there and more to do with what's happening in here.
If you're going to change an area, you do three things. Number one, you focus on it and you get clear and compelling vision for what you want. You see, if you focus on crashing into the pole, trying not to, the more you try not to, what you focus on, that's where the energy goes, that's where you go. If your only reason you're focusing on it is like, well, I need to lose some weight because I feel fat, versus I want the energy to burn because with that I'll have more passion, more aliveness, I'll be able to impact my children. Get focused and clear. What's compelling? Where are you? Really? And don't lie. Where do you want to be? And make it so compelling you can't help it. When you wake up in the morning, you want to transform this area of your life.
We now realize that daydreaming can break you or make you. The great geniuses did something different. They daydreamed big, they had a big vision. Thomas Edison, for example, his daydream wasn't to invent the light bulb. His daydream was to light the planet Earth at night. That is his daydream. So the difference between the kind of waste of time daydreaming and the genius daydreaming, the brilliant daydreaming, which everyone can do. They say, wouldn't it be great to light the planet at night? How are we going to do that? And then they start to work, they bring in other people, they make that dream come true.
You can't just focus on it. You got to create a clear and compelling future in that area that will pull you towards it, so you're not trying to push yourself.
Have the attitude that you can. Believe that your brain can. And then daydream whatever you want to come true, and then work to make it come true. That's brilliance. And anyone can do it.
Align your life with what you really value. Align your life with what is most important to you. And then once you are in a position where you're aligned, guess what you'll do? Take action. You won't have to work at it. When everything's in alignment, there's nothing pulling you away, boom, you go for it.
Every day is another opportunity to change your life. So if you're worried, if you're thinking you may not make it, then you won't make it. But if you make up your mind you're going to make it, and it's like BK said, the only way is if you quit. Just make up your mind you won't quit.
Brilliance is a potential for everybody.
You're still here. And you get another chance. This day. To do better and be better. Another chance to become more of who you were created. And what you were created to fulfill.
And I suggest to you, it's never too late for you to become the person you've always wanted to be. But don't postpone it for next year. Don't postpone it for next month. Start being that person, that human being, that creative force, that business builder, that mother or father, that athlete, that humanitarian, that force of good that you have always wanted to be, beginning right now.
The possibilities are endless. What you really got to ask yourself is this.
In the zone.
Can my brain and other gifts be used better elsewhere? Are you using your brain to your full capacity where you are right now? If not, then you better put a big question mark, because there could be something better out there for you.
So many people are working in hostile environments or where people are undermining you. One of the things I want you to do is to understand that when we talk about breakthrough, it's not just one dimension. You can have a breakthrough in all areas of your life. When you align your thoughts with destiny and with the will of God, when you claim the promises of God, you will experience breakthroughs not only in one area, but you will experience breakthroughs professionally, culturally, socially, economically, physically, psychologically, in your relationships, in every area of your life. I want you to have a breakthrough.
Sometimes in life, to be successful, oftentimes, most of the time, you have to follow your instincts. You have to follow your gut. You have to. Your parents may say wrong, your whoever may say wrong, but you have to do it. Now, speaking of that, you've got to love what you do. And I've seen so many instances where people with great talent went into things that they didn't love, and they failed.
The handles are getting slippery.
I don't work. I love what I do.
I have to adjust my hands,
what I love.
my grip,
I mean, that's why
slightly.
it's become a career for me, because I love it. I love what I do. So I don't think it's unhealthy. I feel good in my mind. I mean, it's my life.
You can be a history maker, or you can be liked by everyone around you. You can't be both. The very nature of living your personal greatness and doing something otherworldly in our world of ours means you're going to have to think differently from the majority. You're going to have to install the habits and routines that most people don't do. You're going to have to live, talk, breathe, walk, work, produce, create in a way that most people who are card-carrying members of the cult of mediocrity just don't buy into.
There are many ways to get the things that we want for ourselves in our lives. But basically, it all begins with how we choose to think. As you think, so shall you be. 7 little words that I think are perhaps the most important things that we can learn and master in our lives. This old proverb notion that I become what I think about all day long. And once you know that what you think about is what expands, you start getting real careful about what you think about. You don't allow your thoughts to be on anything that you don't want, or that you wouldn't want to have manifest or show up for you in your life.
You can believe you deserve to win. You can feel that you determine your results. You can feel incredibly motivated and inspired, and you can practice. But unless you put in the perseverance in actual effort, all the training in the world won't help you unless you hang in there when the going gets tough. And that's why most of the people I know who are successful have been comfortable with failure. Failure's fertilizer. It stinks, but it sure grows green people. And failure really helps you understand that if you've been out there a number of times, you're going to lose some and win some. When you stop to think of it, quarterbacks only complete half of their passes. Basketball players, a little over half of their shots. But perseverance helps you get through the rejection and get you to the goal that you have.
A lot of us on the planet right now, we want everything right now. We're living in an almost kind of instant gratification society. Like everybody wants to be famous right now. They want to just come to an art gallery, make a video, and live this fabulous lifestyle. Look, you can do it. You can do it. But don't expect immediate results.
So, you've got to love what you do. You've got to work hard. Never, ever quit. Never, ever give up, because that's the other thing. I've seen people that are super genius, but they don't have that gut feeling. They don't have that stick-to-itiveness, that never quit. And I've seen people that almost made it and failed because they couldn't go that extra mile. They couldn't do it. So you get something, you never, ever quit, never, ever give up.
Yes, there are going to be times when you really want to give up. But it's only because you want it right now. And I've realized that you've got to be in it for the long haul. That's how you cultivate mental strength, right? You're going to fall. I've got news for you. You are going to fall on your ass maybe 100 times. And all of those 100 times, you're going to be like, I give up, I quit, I'm finished, right? But then you're going to hear a small voice inside your head. And it's going to be the cat down the road saying, look, you've already come this far, don't be a quitter.
Well, if I don't believe in myself, no one's going to believe in me. And my take on that insight is simply this. No one's going to believe in your lofty vision. No one is going to embrace and enroll in your mighty mission if you don't viscerally believe in it.
I want to encourage you right now. Don't give in. Go for it. Don't give up. Don't throw in the towel. And even if your back is up against the wall, even if you are on the ropes and you are receiving a rope-a-dope financially, listen, you got to fight back. You don't get in life what you want, you get what you fight for. And when you decide that my future, my health, my marriage, my freedom, my happiness, my joy, my peace, my children is worth fighting for, you are securing your breakthrough.
We are here to conduct business. We are here to produce results. We are here to create a shift in the universe. So I am saying this to all of you beautiful people, part of the love circle. The reason that you are there is to produce results. Some of y'all are so desperate for friends. Some of y'all are so desperate to connect. You get off of your focus and you steer away from your gift. that created the opportunity for you because you're desperate to connect. Your gift and your capabilities is the main reason that you're even connected to the situation.
You can trust the game. You can be successful. You can overcome your addictions. You can heal. You can feel alive again. This is when you realize that those things are possible. You are getting a breakthrough.
We have control of our minute, our hour, our day, our week, our month, and our year. Stop running around being on the receiving end of whatever people want to dump on you. You showed up. You accepted that invite. You invited these people to your house. You're in a relationship with that man. You're in a relationship with that woman. That's you. So how do you feel at the end of your night?
How easy and how convenient is it for us to blame everything and everybody for the things that we have going on in our lives? There is a such thing as you being a positive and a great person with the best of intentions to